Okay, I want to show what all I've got done so far. I'm going to go to try to head out for Texas Thursday for Texas 2K, and I wanted to get a little bit more done, but I'm running out of time. I've got too much other stuff that I have to get done to the tow vehicle and other stuff, and stuff at the shop that has to be finished up before I can leave. So what I've got done so far, I got the head gaskets changed, I got the Spec 3 Plus clutch put in, I went ahead and got my EGTs in, although they sent me the wrong EGTs. These EGTs do not read high enough. They only go up to 400 degrees Celsius, which is way too small. They should go up to like 1250. So I've got to order 10 new EGTs, but they're wired up and it does read and it works, so it's fine for now. I'll get the right ones when I get back and get them stuck in. But anyways, I had a problem with a coil that went bad on the other head. One of the 4-tower coils shorted completely out. I think there's been something wrong with it for a while. Anyway, it went out. I didn't want to wait on trying to order a replacement, and God knows when it would get here. I had a ton of LS coils laying around, so I went ahead and put 10 LS coils on it. Made a bracket that bolts to the valve cover where the water pipe bolts, and then mounted the coils onto that, and then heat shrink labeled everything, so looks really good and nice. I got my flex fuel sensor. Is kind of hard to see, although it's a brand new sensor. It's a piece of crap. It doesn't work. I've got a brand new one coming in. I gotta go pick it up at the Chevrolet dealership in the morning. Got my fuel pressure sensor on there, and my blow-up valves finally put on. I was gonna powder coat the up pipes, but I ran out of time and just went and polished them for now. I'll powder coat them when I get back. But I got my 10-channel I/O extender board, 10-channel EGT extender board mounted, hooked up. I didn't bother with hooking up the last 3 EGTs because they're wrong, and so there's no sense in. And I even had these all labeled and everything, and then after they was hooked up and working, I went and checked the specs, and of course they sent the wrong ones. So I said screw it for now. But they do function and work. They just max out way too soon. But I'll get the right ones when I get back, get them mounted in, and show all that working. Right now, all I have hooked to this box is the 10 EGTs, and I've got a one pressure sensor, which is the fuel pressure sending unit, is hooked to this box. And what this does is this will take any readings for your generic sensors, wheel speed, pressure, temperature, temperature like EGT, or temperature like air or liquid or anything like that, and it will send that information through CAN to the box inside, to the standalone inside. My boxes are called Interface PNP. They're based on Megasquirt 3, so basically it sends it to a Megasquirt 3. Okay, this is a new tablet that I bought. I've showed some other videos where I've used my phone. It's just a small Android phone. This is just a bigger Android tablet, and some of the phones nowadays are this freaking big anyways, but this is just a regular $150 tablet. What's cool is this that's up right now, this is called Shadow Dash, and this is from the guy who makes Tuner Studio, and Tuner Studio is the tuning software for your laptop to tune with. And so let me sit down here for a second, and right now I believe it's up. Yeah, it's connected. You can see the engine map is floating around there, 95.6, 8, bouncing around. I'll show the twist it around here. If you watch the throttle percent, and you can hear that, that's the boost control solenoid. And I'll show something pretty cool on that here in just a second. But basically, this is basically a dash. You can view any sensors that you want with this. There's a few dashes actually. This is the one that I actually used with Tuner Studio. So what I did was export my dash file from my laptop onto here, and then I can have the same dash on here that I use on my laptop to tune with. So I'm really familiar with all the gauge layout, where everything's at with this, so it makes it real easy to go from the laptop to this and not have to be like, well, which gauge am I looking at, because I know these gauges real well. But you can scroll over, and here's a standardized gauge pack that comes with it, standard, and you can see indicators at the bottom for any of the necessary on-off functions or warnings or anything like that. Up here's your gauges. If you want to change a gauge, you just take your finger and hold on it. Well, I guess you got to hold on it longer, and then you can select, like right now it's set to coolant temperature. I'm going to change it so I could go here and say that I wanted to look at an EGT input. I could just go to EGT gauge 1, which that one's not even hooked up, but let me change it to a different one that is hooked up. We will go to 8, and you can see right now it's setting it like 82 degrees, and that information is coming from this box and being sent through CAN to the standalone, and so we can see that information here. So basically this is just an extension of the ECU to extend the amount of channels that we can read or record or whatever, which makes it really nice. But that is called Shadow Dash. It comes with 3 default gauges or dashes, and this is the main startup screen, and this has accelerometer settings. So the accelerometer that's in the Android device, this will show G-force and your turning force and everything, and also has speedometer. It can either be based off the speed input that's on the actual ECU, which mine has, and it'll show your speed, or it can be based off of GPS info for your speed. But okay, now that's enough with this app. This is from Phil Tobin. It's called Shadow Dash MS. You can get it on the Google Play Store. This app is, I think, $9.99. It's a one-time fee. You pay it, and then you have it. Now, eventually, this is going to be turned into what I believe is a full-blown tuning app. So it'll be basically Tuner Studio on the Android device. It hasn't made it yet, but as far as I know, that's where this app will be headed. Let me just go down here at the bottom. You can select your project settings and how you want the app to work. If you don't want it to go to sleep ever, or if you want to go to sleep after something, you can set all that stuff down here. But I'm going to disconnect on this, so that it's disconnected from the ECU now. Go back to home, and I'll go up here, and the next app is called MS Droid. And this one should connect, but I don't know. Sometimes when it's connected to one, go to the other. Sometimes it won't. Yeah, it's starting to. So let's see, reading signature. And now it's loading the pages. And you'll see the gauges come up. Okay, there we go. Now we're hooked up. Now, this is kind of just a blah dash. It's not really anything fancy or anything. You can modify the gauges the same way. You can just click on the gauge that you want. You can go up here to the top and hit edit, and then right now it's set to manifold air temperature, so I can just click on that, and then I can scroll through, all the different gauges. So all of these different gauges we can look at, and there's hundreds of different gauges that we can assign to it. So it's pretty flexible on whatever gauge you want to look at. Whoops. Okay, now we'll go back. We'll just hit accept, and it's pulse width 2. I can move it. You can also, there's a little crosshair here. That's so you can expand the gauge out or shrink the gauge down. Once you're happy with where it's at, you can just hit done, and it locks that gauge to the screen. There's 3 places for this too. It only comes default with the 8 gauges on it, and then you can add more, and you just touch the screen anywhere. Well, I say that. There we go. And then you hit add item. You can add however many gauges that you want. And you can drag, like if I wanted to drag this ethanol percent over to the main screen, I can just drag it and tag it right there, and then it'll stay. I'm going to put it back over here. Okay, done. Alright, one of the really cool things about this app, and I did show it in one of my other videos, but I've got to show it again, is the fact that with Shadow Dash, it's a data logger, and you can data log and you can upload the log files either through Bluetooth to your computer, or you can upload them online and then you can get them offline through your computer and view them on your computer. But what's really cool about this app is that it has a log viewer built in. So I can hit view logs, and there's a couple sample logs that come default with these. Other ones are ones I've made, but we'll just look at a sample log, and you can view it with map or without. And with map means that it will show your GPS coordinates from the log. So it will pull up Google Earth beside the main logger, and you can see where you were at during the log on Google Earth, which is really cool. But we'll just look at it without the map. Okay, and this is basically, like I said, it's a view logger. This is your seconds at the top, and then you have a status bar here which shows you the specifics. Like, it may not focus in very well, but you can see the bottom is map and the top is RPM, and then you can drag the log file, and you can expand it out. So if you're trying to see really detailed, you can see exactly, or you can scrunch it up if you're trying to find a specific spot really fast. One of the cool things, you can look at more than just those two. You can go right here and go to settings, and this selects what you're looking at. So if I wanted to add, let me remove this series here, or add another series. Okay, AFR load, we'll select something else. We'll select something like duty cycle 1. Okay, now we'll go back, and now on the log file we've got an extra, which is the red trace, which shows our duty cycle. So it's really cool. You don't have to have your laptop with you at all to tune, data log, and view your data logs all in one app, which is really cool. But I'll show the tuning part of it now. This is the data logger, or the log viewer, I mean. We'll go back up here, and we'll hit the tuning button. And earlier when I moved the throttle, you could hear the boost solenoid clicking. So what I'll do is I'll go down and I'll go to advanced engine. I just have it on a general purpose PWM output, and this is where you set the settings for the solenoid, or for the output, in other words. But you can see the bottom two are 0 right now. If I can get my big fingers here to select the two cells, right? Okay, and we will add. So I'm just going to put 55 in there so it's the same. And now you can hear the solenoid clicking. 55% duty cycle. Now if I want to take it back to 0. Oops. Oh, I have to subtract 55, not 0. Okay, now it's quit. So like I said, any setting that you want to change, that you could change with the laptop, you can change with this. So if you wanted to go to your VE table and change your fuel VE table, there's your fuel table. So you can change any of this stuff in there the same way. You just select the box, and you can drag however much you want, and you can go over here and select by 0.1, by 0.5, or by one whole number, or you can multiply, subtract, or add a specific amount to those cells. And you can select the wire x-axis also. You can change anything with it. So if you wanted to change your RPM column to something other than 500, then you just go and select it, and then go over here and add or subtract or whatever you want to modify it. But like I said, any setting that you want to change, your rev limiters, anything, you can change. by this, and like a rev limiter, how it works, spark cut, fuel cut, any of that stuff. Here's the coolant based rev limit table. So that's what I say. It's really a really fantastic app. Shadow Dash is $9.99, like I said, and it's as far as I know, it's a one-time fee. You don't ever have to pay it again. What's really cool about this app is this is 100% free. So you go to the Google Play Store and you put in MS Droid and you can have it for free. So this is really cool. But that's where I am so far. We'll see how everything goes. Hopefully I make it back without tearing anything up, which is would always be fantastic, but we'll see how it goes. But if you like this video, please watch my other ones, and if you have any questions on the app, the tablet, the standalone, or this new box here, shoot me a email or leave a comment and let me know. One thing before I go, this box can be used. It doesn't have to be hooked to a Megasquirt to work. This box could be used as a standalone box for data recording. So if you had a different brand ECU, if you had a AEM or a Big Stuff 3 or any of the other ECUs, you can use this box as a standalone because it also has a Bluetooth built into it, and it also has a serial chip in it, so you could connect through just a standard DB9, or you can connect through Bluetooth. So that's what's really cool about this box. You don't have to have, because right now I can change anything in this box and what it does and what it reads through the standalone, through CAN, and it will change any of the settings or readings or anything that I need to in this. My pad's going dead. So I don't have to actually connect to this box to change anything. I can do it through that. But if a person wanted to use this as a standalone box without it hooked to a Megasquirt, if you're using it with a different ECU and want to use this box specifically for data recording, for recording EGTs, wheel speed input, or RPM input, because it's got four RPM inputs, so you could log a couple wheels or all four wheels, or you could log a couple wheels and say the 2 compressor wheels on your turbos. You need the correct sensors, but you could log that speed input into here. It's got 9 ADC channels for pressure or temperature, or like air temperature, liquid temperature, suspension travel if you have a linear potentiometers. It's got a 3-axis 6G accelerometer. It's got 4 high current output drivers. It's got, I think, 4 low side digital inputs and 2 high side digital inputs. I'm sure I'm forgetting something else, but I believe that's about it for now. But like I said, this can be used as a standalone data recorder, which is really nice about it. Like I said, it doesn't have to be hooked to a Megasquirt to function, so that's really good. This box is not actually weatherproof. This is the first one that I built. I would like to eventually make it weatherproof, because these connectors, these are Molex connectors that are some really nice connectors. They're automotive ECU connectors, and these are waterproof, so I'd like to make the case waterproof so that this can be mounted out here on my car, because I know that it's not waterproof, and I know not to take a water hose and spray right on it or anything like that. So I'm fully aware of that, but I eventually would like to get a case to where it's 100% waterproof, so that it is perfectly okay. Or the other option is to encapsulate and pot the board, but I really don't like doing that, because that eliminates any kind of future repair work if it ever needed to be repaired. If you do that and something gets screwed up inside of it, it's junk then. So this way, being able to take it apart, if anything needs to be repaired or replaced in the future, it can be very easily without throwing the whole thing away. But that's where we're at. Hopefully I'll have some more videos in a few days. We're going to leave out, this is Monday, hopefully we're going to leave out Thursday, and go from there.